Hello, friends, and happy Tuesday. Welcome to today's live level up conversation. Whether you're tuning in live or joining me on replay, thank you so much for making the time. Let's get started.
Welcome to Level Up with Winnie Sun, award-winning financial pro. Get ready. Level Up with Winnie Sun.
Hello, friends, and thank you so much for joining me live. I hope that you're having a great week. In fact, this is the week of July 4th, so it's going to be a fast one for sure. For those of you who are brand new to the show, welcome. I'm Winnie, your host, an award winning financial pro, a Forbes contributor, and a CNBC council member and contributor. And I'm grateful for you to be here with me, joining me live. Let's start off and let you know how the market's doing because it's good news. It's positive across the board. Currently, the Nasdaq's up about 129 points. Dow is up about 115 points, and the S&P 500 also in the positive, leading about 26 points. So far, so good. We've got a little less than half an hour left for the financial market, so hopefully this positivity continues until the close. Now, I've got a lot of stories to share with you today, so let's just get started. One of the articles that I found really interesting was, of course, on CNBC from my friend Jeff Cox, talking about the Federal Reserve and their progress on the topic of inflation. Now, if you've been following this show or following financial news, you know that what Jerome Powell does on the Federal Reserve is definitely having an impact on the financial markets. And of course, we are looking for a target inflation of about 2%. Now, he came out just this week and talked about, gave us some good news and a little bit of hope, but not quite where we want him to be yet. He emphasized the need for more confidence before considering an interest rate cut. However, he did express satisfaction with the progress that we have made on the subject of inflation. So, not quite yet there yet, but of course, cautiously optimistic as normal. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell has said he's cautious about reducing interest rates too rapidly, too quickly, which of course could disrupt the progress that has already been made. And of course, waiting too long to cut rates could also pose risks to the economic recovery. And certainly, we don't want to go into negative territory anytime soon. So, more eyes still continue to watch inflation. There's certainly looking like some improvement, but we're not quite here yet for decreasing interest rates for those of you who are sort of waiting and hoping that to take place. Now, speaking of things that are speaking of things that could be a little bit more exciting and happy and something to look forward to, I do want to share with you, of course, that the Paris Olympics is just about to start soon. In fact, this story comes from the Rob Report. Abby Montanas is talking about Air France and how Air France could potentially lose quite a bit due to the Paris Olympics, which I thought this was kind of a surprising story because I would assume that with Paris hosting the Olympics, that more people would be flying in to see the Olympics. But they're saying, well, not what you maybe were thinking. The impact of the Paris Olympics on air travel is this. Air France and KLM anticipate that they're going to actually experience some financial losses because travelers, they say, are avoiding Paris during the Olympics. I didn't expect that. I thought people would fly in to see the Olympics, but maybe not. They're saying with high prices and potential flight disruptions from July the 26th to August 11th, these are some major concerns for travelers. And they're saying that international tourists are actually avoiding Paris altogether, which is leading to decline in travel to and from the city. In fact, French residents are also postponing their vacations or even considering alternative travel plans. Maybe they're going to be road tripping instead. So the airline is saying that they estimate a revenue hit of, believe it or not, $172 million of loss. Wow, who would have guessed that actually the Olympics would have decreased the amount of money that was being spent on air travel on Air France to Paris? But yeah, nonetheless, they said this is expecting to cause a decrease in travel. Air France has, I guess, increased capabilities for Olympic spectators, but Not gonna happen. So unfortunately, Paris expecting about 15 million visitors for the Olympics, but concerns about crowds and traffic are keeping international travelers from actually going to Paris. They're just like, don't want to deal with it. I guess they're probably like me, which it's just so convenient to watch it on TV, right? And you can get a better view and commentary at the same time. So, nonetheless, a 14.8%, they say, decrease in foreign arrivals is predicted for this month, July 2024, compared to last year when there was no Olympics. In addition, hotel bookings in Paris for the first 10 days of July are around 60%, which is a 10% drop from the previous year. So, American tourists, which make up a big portion of visitors, are really postponing their trips until the games or even after the games, I guess. I know I have a good friend who is taking her family to Paris just after the Olympics, and we were thinking about doing the same thing too, but not sure yet. Nothing's booked, but certainly let me know your thoughts on this. Like, is this surprising to you? Because I know, like, for example, for events such as, the Taylor Swift concerts and whatnot, the Beyonce concerts, people will travel to Europe to be able to see those concerts and have that experience. In fact, a friend of mine on CNBC wrote an article about that just this week. So you can check that out. But yes, these enhanced sort of tourist experiences, in fact, luxury hotels in Paris, we're even enhancing services with wellness programs and really unique art exhibits for Olympic visitors. And brands such as Omega and Ralph Lauren are even launching special products and uniforms for the event. But yeah, tourism, I guess, at least it comes to Air France, looks like has been struggling a bit. And speaking of things that struggle, I don't know if you've seen this story, but this is a big one. This was being shared by CBS News, talking about the ongoing struggles for car dealerships after their CDK cyber attack. Now, if you haven't heard of this, you're probably not alone. I honestly didn't hear about this when it first was announced, but a good friend of mine actually works with a lot of car dealerships, and CDK cyber attack has been huge. In fact, this has disrupted car sales and services across the United States. This is considered a ransom event targeting CDK sales and client management software, in particular, that helps with car dealerships. So, in fact, June, because of this, car sales dropped by more than 5% compared to the previous year. And some dealerships saw new car sales plummet by 50%. The cyber attack affected around 15,000 auto dealerships who rely on the CDK Global software. And so, I don't know. I guess they're saying that this affected not only sales of cars, but also essential services, including oil changes and warranty work. And they face a bunch of delays because there's so much depending on software today. So they're hoping to have the software fully operational by July 4th, which is this week, this Thursday. So hopefully that takes place. But it just gives you sort of a bird's eye view of what could happen if more cyber attacks occur as more technology improves and AI system. We are so dependent on our technology that with this sort of disruption, it could be very, very harmful for not only businesses but our quality of life and safety issues and everything else. So that hopefully is behind us, and hopefully things are feel bad for them. But maybe for those of you who've been on the sidelines looking for purchasing a vehicle, maybe there's an opportunity to get a better deal. I don't know. Maybe wouldn't it wouldn't hurt to reach out and ask. That's what I would do if you were looking for a car. All right. Speaking of uh, other stories, this is a new one coming from CNN. CNN reports about Meta, which is a parent company to Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp and whatnot, is facing scrutiny from our European neighbors over their pay or consent model. So, Meta's new service introducing something called subscription for no ads. So they're charging European users about $14 US dollars monthly for their ad-free Facebook and Instagram program. Alternatively, users actually have to must consent to personalized ads. But based on the European Commission's preliminary findings, they found the European Commission argues that the binary choice forces users to consent to data use, which in fact violates the Digital Markets Act or the DMA, and that users should be provided with at least a less personalized but equivalent service as an option. So, if this is the case, Meta could face a fine of up to 10% of its global annual revenue, which is a whopping $13.5 billion dollars based on last year's earnings. So, this is pretty huge. We'll definitely keep a close eye on the developments on this. But of course, this announcement does follow the European Union's acquisition against Apple for preventing app developers from also offering cheaper services as well. And of course, Google's parent company Alphabet is also under investigation for similar breaches. So yeah, this DMA is no joke, but certainly. Definitely probably a thorn in a lot of tech companies, giving them a lot of headache. But I'm curious to see how you feel about that. I mean, it's good that they're looking for out for us users, consumer, but yeah, hopefully the tech companies can get on board and make it I guess, you know, fit within the rules of the European Union's Commission. But with that in mind, I want to share with you another story that is you're going to want to pay attention to this one because this one could potentially save you some money in the long run, right? So the United States Postal Service, how they always like increase the rate of stamps. This is pretty normal. And then they started selling these things called the forever stamps. Well, and that was good because if you bought the forever stamps, let's say, 5 years ago, they certainly are worth quite a bit more, right, today than they were than how much you pay for them, let's say 5 years ago. Well, the US Postal Service is now intending to once again increase its stamp prices. And so if you want to lock in the current prices, you want to make sure that you buy your stamps prior to July 14th. This was shared by USA Today by James Powell. So here's what you need to know. The price of its first class forever stamps will rise from its currently 68 cents each to 73 cents on July 14th. Now, this is more than a 7% increase in stamp prices. And to give you an idea, like prices for all United States postal services have seen already an increase of over 7.5%. So just make a note. If you need stamps or you think you're going to need stamps next year, maybe to pay your rent or utilities, if you still do that, then you probably want to get yourself some stamps to go to keep them. Make sure that you keep them safe, you don't lose them. Maybe put them in your tax return records or something like that. But this is also an opportunity for you to kind of consider of doing more online bill pay because typically that means you don't have to put a stamp on it. The other thing I would say is, a lot of our senior citizen family members may not yet have adopted online bill pay. So this is an opportunity for you to help them set that up. I spent about an afternoon with my mom setting that up for her. It wasn't easy, but we got it done, and it certainly we certainly saved her a lot of time and money in terms of postage and time writing checks. Like she used to do that. So something to keep in mind. Okay, so first class mail has made up about 30% of the postal revenue in 2023. So that's a lot of envelopes being sent. And so this plan is projected to generate an additional $44 billion in revenue for the United States Postal Service by the year 2031. So if you need stamps, you might want to look into doing that. And I know that there's a lot of places you can even buy slightly discounted or maybe at least at face value stamps you can without having to make a special trip to the postal service. I know a lot of warehouse stores sell stamps as well. I'm not sure if they're less or at face value, but if you do, drop a like, let me know. And yes, it's great to see you, CrossX Fighter on YouTube. Like, thank you so much for the comment. I see you and I appreciate you very much. All right, so let's talk about July because we are in July this week, and time is flying by so quickly. We're already through more than half of the year here in 2024. Well, Krispy Kreme's wants to do something special to help celebrate July with you. They're giving freebies for rewards members. Now, for those of you who are Krispy Kreme's rewards member, so I guess you'll want to take a note of this. If you're not a rewards member, I guess you can sign up to be a rewards member for free. You can download their app and they give you all sorts of things. But in this particular month, they're giving out free donuts and iced coffee. That's right. So Krispy Kreme rewards members are going to receive a free donut every Tuesday and a free iced coffee every Friday in July as long as they make any other purchase. Now, this offer does start on Tuesday, July 2nd, which is today, and will continue throughout the entire month. And so, this is sort of that they're celebrating some special donut collections for the month of July, I guess to celebrate July 4th. They're doing something called a Star Spangled Sweetness collection that starts today. A firework cookies and cream filled donut and a cotton candy sparkler donut and a freedom flag donut, which I don't know what that is. But they're also doing, for those of you who want to do something maybe a little bit more familiar with, they also have something called a Kit Kat collection, which is going to be available July 8th to the 14th, like just after July 4th. So you're doing a whole bunch of Kit Kat promotions too. So these free donuts are going to be for rewards members. And they're going to be special surprises, they say, that they're going to announce just on their website and also their social media channels. They're doing special free things on July 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th. So you can take a look at that. For those of you who are Krispy Kreme fans, you probably are enjoying that news. I'm not sure if we're gonna make a. I got a comment coming in if I'm gonna go. I don't know if we're going to go to Krispy Kremes. But I mean, let me know. I know this much. My kids feel like Krispy Kreme's donuts are the best donuts ever made. But that comes at a big but because that also means they can't stop at just one. And my kids are in sports, and this is tournament season, so maybe we're gonna hold off till after they're done with their tournaments. I don't know. We'll see. Let me know in comments what you think I should do. I'm always curious to see, and I'd love to get your feedback on that. But thank you so much, my friends, for being a part of Level Up Live. Currently, the Dow is up 143 points. Nasdaq is up of over 119 points, and the S&P 500 also still up 26 points. And we've got about a little bit more than 10 minutes left to go before the market closes here. But thank you so much, my friends, for being a part of Level Up Live today. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on all the latest content. And to watch previous full episodes of Level Up with Winnie Sun, you can check out NASDAQ.com, Amazon Fire, Samsung, LG, Roku, and many other streaming platforms. And when sharing the episode online, a big shout out to Deborah. I saw you for sharing it all over. And John, I saw you sharing all over this week too. And of course, a huge thank you always to Joshua for being here and supporting and sharing the show. Please tag at Winnie's Son to show your support so I can also properly thank you in a future episode. And with that, if you want to check out Yes Factor with Winnie's Son, which is a podcast on Apple Podcasts, definitely check that out. It's a great road trip podcast. Thank you so much, my friends. I hope you have a beautiful week, and I will see you again very soon. Take care now. Bye bye.